So my God, Courtney.
Wow, I don't like where this is going already.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Courtney.
Join us as we delve into true crime, paranormal encounters, and all things spooky.
Grab your flashlight and get ready to wander into the darkness with us.
This is Wicked Wanderings. Everybody, we have a special coming for you today. Hello, Courtney.
Hi, Hannah.
Hello, Rob.
Hello.
And hello, Cousin Mark.
Hello, everybody.
In the flesh.
In the virtual flesh.
In the virtual flesh.
This was a very impromptu episode, guys. But I called Cousin Mark. I was like, hey, you busy?
No, this was pre-planned. What are you talking about?
This is not
This was a true crime version of the "you up" text.
Pre-planned for you guys. Surprised on me.
You said we could surprise you whenever. To be fair, you did say you had a good time and we could always offer.
Always.
So, Hannah, what are we doing today?
Oh, we're doing trivia.
Trivia. Are we using the same trivia book?
Well, we have Cousin Mark leading us today with his trivia book, and I'm very excited for this.
It's actually the same trivia book we have.
Yes, but I don't know. Have we used that one?
Yes, we have.
Oh, well, let's see what Cousin Mark has.
Oh,
for
there
us.
you go.
Yeah.
So mine is, what cannibal has the highest victim count?
All right, if it's not Dahmer, then I don't know if I know.
What it says here is, while Jeffrey Dahmer is generally considered to be the only cannibal in the Western world to have amassed a substantial victim count of 17, one Russian serial killer trumps all when it comes to mass cannibalism.
Ooh.
Andrei Chikatilo, also known as the Butcher of Rostov, was found guilty of 52 murders.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Why does that name sound
Yeah.
familiar? Did we read that fact?
I might have sent it to you in the text.
That's true. He does keep us well informed on our daily true crime
He
stuff.
does.
Oh, I try. So many involving acts of cannibalism. Chikatilo grew up in the war-torn Russia in the 30s and 40s. That's a thing that I've noticed. A lot of the serial killers were born between 1930 and 1960.
It's
Reading
interesting.
through my books.
That does line up a lot with what we've talked about too.
Right.
Yeah, because we noticed a lot of
Yeah.
serial killers were coming at like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Like there were tons.
So he targeted a wide range of victim types, children of both genders, middle-aged women, and he would just lure them in places and then take them out. When he was being tried in court, they put him in a locked cage.
Oh.
Not because they were afraid of him. They were afraid of everybody in the court going after him.
Wow.
Interesting.
Jeez. God.
So it was more for the protection of him than it was the protection of everybody else.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Cannibalism. I feel like Cousin Mark picked that on purpose because he knows I don't like cannibals.
Oh, you and cannibalism and your,
Look at
your
him smirking.
dissection.
Smirking under all that facial hair. And blushing too.
Cousin Mark, did you go to the website and see the AI generated image of you that I used?
I did.
Did you like
I
it?
did. That was pretty cool.
Okay. All right.
That was pretty cool.
How come some of us got AI generated and some of us got our LinkedIn picture?
Okay. Do you want me to change yours
Yes,
to
it's
AI
my
generated?
LinkedIn picture from 2012. And
Okay.
it also says I'm a guest.
It says you're a guest?
Yeah.
No way. No, it says
I'm a frequent guest.
Okay, I will update our website accordingly.
Either
I think
that or
I'm
you
going to
have
make
to upgrade
everyone.
my salary.
I'm going to up. All right.
All right. Who's next then? Someone else go. I'll
Hannah,
look for something else.
Your turn. Same book.
Different book.
Different book. Okay.
That's the one that I got at Barnes & Noble.
Different book. What's the name of this book?
It is Totally Terrifying True Crime Trivia by Brian Boone. We have not worked our way all the way through it yet. The Oakland County child killer gave a victim a notable last meal. 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, disappeared from Oakland County, Michigan in 1976 and 1977. During a press conference, the mother of one of the boys pleaded for her child's safe return. She made an offhand comment about wanting to feed him his favorite meal, Kentucky Fried Chicken, when he came home. A few days later, all of the victims' bodies were found. In one boy's stomach was his last meal, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh.
That
Wow.
boy's name was Timothy King. It's not in the
Oh,
book.
wow.
Oh. Wait, is that your episode coming up? Is
That is a sneak peek to my episode coming out next week.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
All right. That sounds like it's going to be multi-episode.
Yeah, it's one of those cases that just really, I had prepped it for today, and then last night I was doing some more research into it just because I couldn't sleep, and what else better to do than look up serial killers? I know, Cousin Mark gets me.
That's what I do.
I found that there was actually a lot more connected to that one case than originally planned. So I'd rather be able to paint the whole picture, so it'll probably be a 2-parter at least.
Very nice.
And you did see that they found the identification of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Actually, is it weird that I'm like upset about it? Like, it kind of was like this whole mystery of who Jack the Ripper was.
It
and
lost the
Yeah.
allure.
Yeah. The lore.
The allure.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So,
Some things
so
should be a
Jack the-
mystery.
so Jack the Ripper was one of the first serial killers to capture the public imagination, was considered to be disorganized and a sociopath.
But he ended up being Polish, right? Was that
Yes.
what? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Polish barber.
Which kind of like, if anyone's seen
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, thank you.
Good. Yeah.
I love Sweeney
All
Todd.
right, here we go. Here we go, Hannah.
Oh boy.
Ted Bundy, generally considered to be the gold standard of psychopaths, exhibited high levels of sociopathy, particularly in his latter murders.
I love
Yeah.
Ted Bundy.
I have a weird thing about sociopaths lately. I listened to a whole audiobook about like one woman's journey through identifying as a sociopath.
Oh God.
So, a very fascinating book.
You
Absolutely
didn't
fascinating.
share that book with me.
It was an audiobook, so sometimes I like don't count them. You know, I get weird about that.
Oh.
But that makes sense. A lot of his later victims, I could see that.
Mm.
And they also said that a lot of the sociopathic serial killers tend to blitz attack their victims
Huh.
to gain immediate control of the situation, which Bundy did that with the Omega murders
Yes,
and then the
yes, in Florida,
12-year-old
yeah.
little girl.
That's right.
So,
Damn.
yeah, you guys will have to share your book recommendations with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to build up a serial killer library.
Ah,
I
ooh,
bet the
don't
wife
you
loves
worry.
that.
Makes great living
Yeah.
room display.
Oh yeah, they gave Ted Bundy the psychopath test, which you can get a possible 30 points out of it, and I'm pretty sure he came in at 28.
Yeah, I would not
Wow.
be surprised.
Everything was either 0, 1, or 2. So they'd ask you a question, and then you have to come up with a number as to what you think you are.
Hmm.
And he came up with 28 out of 30.
Sounds like
Wow.
a QABF.
It's
Immediately, my brain was like,
I hate using those.
yeah, it's
I
not
hate
great.
using those.
It's not great.
All right, Hannah, you want to go next?
Sure.
Sorry, I took your turn.
No, it's fine. I understand. I can play in the sandbox. It's fine.
Just don't let it happen again.
All right. Edmund Kemper's sister tried to kill him on 2 occasions. Do you know this, Cousin Mark?
Not yet.
Ooh, something he doesn't know. All right. Edward Kemper survived 2 childhood murder attempts at the hands of his sister Susan, which supports the theory that the urge to kill may be hereditary, or at least linked to children of the same parents growing up in the same damaging environment. She once tried to push him in front of a speeding train. She also threw him into the deep end of a pool, knowing he couldn't swim.
Interesting.
When he was a kid, they used to play games of electric chair. They would strap him into a chair, and then he would convulse like he was getting electrocuted. And then there were also times when they rolled him up in a rug. I have no idea what they were trying to accomplish with that one, but
Wow.
did you know the only serial killer who ever successfully pleaded insanity was Ed Gein?
I did actually know that one.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't even know who
Yeah,
that
he was
is.
the only one. And then here you go. Albert Fish. He's a nasty one.
Yeah.
A man who claimed to have killed over 100 children and heard voices from God pleaded insanity in 1935, but he was found sane and sentenced to death.
Wow.
He was the one that went to the family to try to get their son to come work on his farm as a ruse. But then when he found out the son had a friend, it was either a friend or a brother, he decided that he couldn't overpower the two of them. And then Grace Budd walked in, the daughter, and immediately he came up with a plan to take her away. And he talked the family into letting him take her. And he ended up killing her. But the big part about that story was he had written a letter to the mother explaining everything that he did to her.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, he was a nightmare.
The knowledge in this man's head is incredible.
It's just all random stuff. I need something to kickstart the memory.
So
All right, Hannah.
I have another part to Edward Kemper's, which Cousin Mark probably will know. So Edward Kemper's confession was taken as a joke.
Yes. He had driven 5 hours into Utah, I think, and then decided to call the police. The police knew him because he hung out with them at the bar.
Oh,
And when he first called, he said that he killed them. And the guy goes, Ed, you're a riot. And he hung up on him.
Wow.
Sorry, Hannah, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Is that what you were going to say?
I don't know yet. I haven't read it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
me. I was being distracting with the dogs.
So he committed his first murder at age 15, shooting and killing his grandparents in 1964. After serving a 5-year prison sentence, he
That's
dismembered, murdered, and then had sex with 2 Fresno State University students. He murdered 4 more women, then his mother and her best friend before fleeing.
Wow.
Shortly after, he telephoned police to turn himself in, confessing his crimes and saying that he would be happy going about his life in prison. They thought it was a prank call, so he had to show up in person to turn himself in.
Wow.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's an interesting situation.
What happened was his mother couldn't handle him, so he sent him to go live with his father. But his father's new wife was creeped out by him because he was a big guy. I mean, he was big. He was bigger than Rob. Rob's 6 foot. No. Don't laugh.
He immediately goes to height. He's 6 foot.
Rob's like 6 foot something. Whatever he weighs, and Kemper was 6'7", 350.
Wait, Cousin Mark, how tall are you?
No, I'm only 5'9".
Only
I'm just
5'9".
I'm just a short little guy, but
Wait, but your brother's
Yeah.
like tall.
Well, how tall
6'3".
are you? 5'9" feels tall.
Yeah, Matt's 6'3".
yeah.
Well, wait, so who's older?
Mark.
Who's
Okay.
older?
Cousin
I am
Mark.
the oldest one out of all the cousins,
And when Patrick's the youngest.
Yes.
and Patrick's the youngest. Yep.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
So all of them girls and some of the boys are sandwiched in between us.
Is this so interesting? So we have had the oldest cousin and the youngest
Yes.
cousin on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's because they're the coolest, obviously.
So Kemper left his father's house and moved in with his grandparents. So his grandfather had bought him a gun, a .22 rifle, and his grandmother was pissed off that he kept shooting things. So he ended up shooting his grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah. Then he went outside and waited for his grandfather to come home because he was out shopping. So what happened was he shot his grandfather because he didn't want his grandfather to go into the house to see that his wife was dead.
Oh, God.
Sometimes the logic in people really
Yeah.
confuses me.
Mm.
But he was 15 years old.
Yeah, he's not expected to have logic at
So-
15. That's
No. So he calls his mother up and he says what he did. And she goes, well, then you're going to own it. Call the police and wait for him.
Mm.
that's some good parenting right there.
Yeah. Well, that woman deserved everything she got. Yeah, we'll have to do an episode on Kemper.
He's definitely seems like a fascinating guy.
Oh, he was. He was definitely interesting. So there was a killer. There was a serial killer duo that were called the Toolbox Killers.
Oh,
They-
I've heard of that.
They were Roy Norris and Lawrence Bittaker. Okay. They wanted to kill one girl of every age in the team.
How
I've heard of them.
sick.
And they also took cassette recordings of one of the times they tortured one of the women.
Oh,
And what happens is that the FBI now uses that tape to train their agents to try to withstand empathy for the brutality of everything that was going on the recording.
Gosh, that's some
Ooh.
training I would really love to see I'm not being funny, like the data on how well it works.
Mm.
Because I feel like that would, like some people would respond really well to that kind of training and some people would not respond well to that at all.
Okay, should I read the next one?
Yes,
Oh,
go.
yes.
Randy Kraft's meticulous note-taking got him convicted.
Interesting.
So he murdered...
Yeah,
you know this guy?
I do. I know him.
His own notes.
He murdered primarily hitchhikers with military backgrounds in the 1970s and 80s. His killing ground spanned Oregon, California, and Michigan. In 1983, he was arrested by the California Highway Patrol, who immediately spotted some fairly damning evidence. A dead body sitting in the passenger seat. Oh yeah, that will do it.
In the passenger seat.
Not the trunk like the other guy we talked about with the no license plate. A further investigation of the car turned up a briefcase that contained Kraft's diary full of detailed notes on the deaths of 60 people. He was ultimately convicted of 16 murders.
Wow. You would really keep evidence of that many murders in one book and then lose it?
But then
Well, they were all. Hold on, let me pull them up. They were all listed as where he found them. Yeah, he was known as the scorecard killer.
Ooh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah, 16 to 76 victims.
I have more on him, Cousin Mark.
Continue then.
Yeah, but
What's that?
I have more on him.
Oh, go ahead, go.
Okay. So, yeah, it does talk about being, calling it a scorecard. So, the piece of evidence that was damning for him was those journals that he claimed was a party invite list. So, it was basically a scorecard he kept, seemingly of his murders. Through a series of codes, Kraft kept very detailed notes about exactly how he tortured and killed as many as 61 victims. And the investigators found that 43 entries lined up perfectly with the circumstances of specific murders. Kraft claimed that the list was actually a coded journal of his sexual conquest.
Oh, boy.
That he later said was a list of housewarming party invites for his boyfriend. Interesting.
That's out of all the things you could say it's a list of, that's creative.
Sometimes he mutilated and tortured his victims while they were still alive.
Oh, that's never a fun one to hear either.
Yummy.
This book is awesome.
Have you gotten much through it?
What I do is I'll be watching something on TV and they'll talk about someone, and then I'll go to the book to make sure that they're in there. So there's 2 volumes of that. I got one in hardcover, one in softcover.
Oh, okay. 4 famous serial killers became friends behind bars.
Okay.
Any guesses, Cousin Mark? You know who they are?
Not yet.
All right. In 1989, San Quentin State Prison in California was the home of 4 captured and convicted serial killers. Lawrence Bittaker, William Bittaker, William Boney.
Bonin.
No, it's just B-O-N-I.
Boney.
B-O-N-I-I-N. William Bonin was, I think, the freeway killer.
Did they misspell it?
No, it's a different guy.
Now I do know all of those. You're going with Lawrence Bittaker, the toolbox killers that I just talked about. Bonin, and then Kearney.
My phone's up there.
Was it Kearney?
What are you looking for?
I was going to look it up. Because if yours is spelled differently, or maybe they misspelled it.
It says it's Lawrence Bittaker, William Boney, Randy Kraft, and Douglas Clark.
Douglas Clark. Okay, yeah. Well, she just talked about Randy Kraft.
Yeah, that's probably why they connected them.
Yeah, some of them I haven't heard of, but Lawrence Bittaker was the one with Roy Norris with the toolbox killers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So these 4 guys together, formed what they called the San Quentin Bridge Club. Every day they got together and just played cards.
At San Quentin.
Yeah.
Which is a prison in California. I listened to a podcast about San Quentin. It's called Ear Hustle, and it takes place inside San Quentin.
So, Courtney, who was the last one you said? Did you say Doug Clark?
Yeah, Douglas Clark.
Doug Clark was known as the Hollywood Slasher, the Sunset Strip Killer,
Oh.
and the Sunset Strip Slayer.
I feel like maybe we read a different trivia thing for him one other time, because I recognize you said that was the Hollywood Killer?
The Hollywood Slasher.
Hollywood Slasher. Sounds really familiar.
The Sunset Strip Killer. He was active from June of 80 to August of 80, and he had 7 victims.
Wow, that is quite a lot of victims for only approximately 3 months.
Yeah, June to August. He died of natural causes after 40 years on death row.
That's kind of ironic.
I mean, why? Why keep them alive that long? You're supposed to kill them already.
I guess it depends on the situation they were there for.
Yeah.
The answer probably depends.
So we're back to Edmund Kemper, apparently. And so apparently police officers loved him. So when his crimes were being investigated, Edmund Kemper befriended detectives on the case. He figured out that they frequented a cop bar called the Jury Room and became such a fixture that they openly discussed the cases with him. Wow, that was stupid.
Wow.
After he turned himself in, the police were shocked that, quote unquote, Big Ed, all friendly and jovial, was the same person as the evil co-ed killer. Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, he really hated his mother. She was just ruthless to him. Yeah, she made him sleep in the basement.
Oh, always a
because-
basement.
Yeah,
Always.
she made him sleep in the basement because she was always afraid that he was going to do something to his sisters.
We talked about him the last time we podcasted because I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Kemper had an IQ of 145, and they didn't believe it. They retested him, and he tested higher.
Wow.
He quoted, "When I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think two things. One part of me wants to take her out, talk to her, be real nice, sweet, and treat her right. And the other part, a part of me wonders what her head would look like on a stick."
Oh,
Wow.
because that's normal. Yikes.
One of the girls that he killed, he made a joke about it. He decapitated her and then buried the head outside his mother's window facing up at her. He said because his mother always liked to look down on people.
Oh, wow.
That's
Woo!
that's dark.
That is dark.
Yes, it is.
Cousin Mark, I think you were the glue.
That held
That-
this whole recording together.
You know,
It was definitely you.
whatever I can do,
Oh, my God.
I'll do my best.
Because we recorded my episode right before this, and
Yeah.
it went okay, right?
It went a lot better than this did, yeah.
It just, I don't know. Like, let's record one more. I'm like, let me see if Cousin Mark's available. Thank you. All right, maybe it's just a Friday night thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
All right. Well,
we can't forget to say goodbye because
Yeah.
that'll be bad.
All right.
So thank you,
Yeah.
Cousin Mark.
because Courtney likes to just end episodes, and then Rob's like, "Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do for an ending?"
And then
So-
Courtney texts him back and suggests he could just use one of the old ones we have. And he goes
There
silent
you
because
go.
that's what he does, but he doesn't want everyone to know it.
I took a combination of your full goodbye and a little bit of New Year's, because even the goodbye that you guys recorded was like a half goodbye because you cut Hannah off saying goodbye. Yeah. So
I'm too quick for the board.
yeah. Anyways.
Anyways, we appreciated you coming again, Cousin Mark.
Oh, you know what? Actually, before we end this episode, let's do a card. All right. So let's do a card,
Okay.
Hannah. You want to pick a card? Any card?
Maybe we should have Cousin Mark do it.
So here we go. We have the Eight of Hearts.
Okay.
So it is William Bill Zdensky. On
Zdensky?
February 2nd, 2018, the victim was found deceased in his house at 24 Clinton Street in Ware with multiple wounds.
Oh.
Oh.
If you have any info about this case, please call 1-855-MA-SOLVE.
So he's from where?
Yeah.
If you want me to
That's
say
close to you,
different.
Court.
Ware, Massachusetts. It's actually a town. If you're not from Massachusetts, it's Ware.
Yes. That's from Ware, and I'm from Wareham.
Where? See, my mom was asking where you were from.
We
And I was
said
like,
Weymouth.
I know it's near where Cape
Middle-
Cod starts.
Yeah, I always say Middleborough. I mean, it's basically over there.
Yeah. Wareham is the gateway to Cape Cod.
That's why you thought that, because he said that last time.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how I remembered.
I don't remember what I said last time. That's a lot of things.
Well, good thing it's on the record.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. I do know that if the gloves fit, finger.
Cousin Mark, just when I thought I liked you.
Oh,
On that happy note.
yes. Courtney, Hannah, Cousin Mark, thank you very much.
Yes.
And it was a pleasure
Thank
being
you all
back
for
on
your
the
help.
episode.
Bye, Wanderers.
Anytime, I'm ready to go.
Woo! Hooray! Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Ah.
Thanks for listening today. Wicked Wanderings is hosted by me, Hannah.
And co-hosted by me, Courtney.
And it's produced by Rob Fitzpatrick.
Music by Sasha M.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave a rating and review, and be sure to follow on all socials. You can find the links down in the show notes. If you're looking for some really cozy t-shirts or hoodies, head over to the merch store. Thank you for being a part of the Wicked Wanderings community. We appreciate every one of you. Stay curious, keep exploring,
And always remember to keep on wandering.
A sincere expression of gratitude to our esteemed patrons for their generous monthly contributions. Cousin Mark and Ashling,
Karen and Kate,
Stephanie and Courtney.
Lynn and Margie.
You too can become a valued patron and unlock a realm of exclusive content by supporting our mission for as little as $3 a month. Your contributions sustain our commitment to delivering high-quality content. Visit wickedwanderingspodcast.com and click on the support tab to join the ranks of our dedicated patrons. Thank you for considering this opportunity to deepen your engagement with Wicked Wanderings. Your support is paramount in enabling us to continue our journey into the realms of mystery and true crime.